road to success is brought to you by Equity Bank.
Equity Bank. You are listening, caring partner.
Motivation and perseverance have a magical effect. This is the story of Henry Waithaka, whose story will inspire you. This week on Road to Success, our guest is Henry Waithaka of Deltatech. His story is proof that effort does have rewards. Karibu sana, Henry.
Asante.
There has been a series of events that have led you to start Deltatech. Tell us from the very beginning.
I was born in a family whereby it was a poor family. My mom was the sole breadwinner at that time. So it was a background whereby it was tough. Once I cleared high school in the year 2000, my mom wasn't able to pay my school fees because she was retrenched the same year. But I never gave up in life. She encouraged me at least to do some things. I applied so many schools, called in, because I aspired to do things concerning the medicine field. Yes. That's where my desire was. Was called in so many schools, in the Kenyatta University, some colleges in Thika, concerning clinical medicine, biochemistry, but I couldn't. So at some point I decided to at least do something else. So that's where I got employment. I got small contracts, 2 months contracts in several companies in Babadogo.
Not doing what?
Just manual jobs like cleaning. At some point I was in EPZ. I started out as a cleaner and then I became a production clerk. And then afterwards the contract went off. So from there, I started venturing into other things like businesses, small businesses.
What I read about you is you did
Yes.
actually go into hawking.
Yes. So on the hawking business, we decided to start the business with my younger brother and a friend of ours. So we used to go to Gikomba, get ladies' tops, iron them, wash them. So by 4 p.m. we were ready with them. We used to make good money because the minimum amount of money we used to make is about 1,500.
From there, what happened?
We continued, but because we had issues with the kanjo, at that time they used to beat us up. Every time we used to get arrested, thrown into the vans or the trucks, and then we pay some amount so that at least we can be released.
But they take your goods, don't they?
They do.
Your wares.
They do. But they never got our goods because one of us used to rap and run.
So those were the days you used to do the cat and mouse games
Yes.
with the kajo.
Yes.
Of course, and of course trying to make some money for yourself so you
Yes.
can help your family. At what point did you decide enough was enough?
There was a time one of our hookers got beat up so bad and was admitted in the Kenyatta. Stayed in the ICU for about a month or two. It was scary, considering now they used to beat us up badly. That's the reason why we decided to just leave the job, because it was just too tough for us, and I decided not to risk my life and that of my brothers. So we decided to do something else.
And what is this something else that you
So
embarked on?
We decided to sell, we called kahawa chungu, coffee. We go to a pool place where young men would play pool. So we decided to make at least a pot or two of coffee. As a matter of fact, apart from the young men, even the mamambogas there, they used to love the coffee.
It kept you going.
Yes.
And like you said, the reason why you were doing all these things was to help your families.
Yes. So I did that, and I saw the profit wasn't much, but alongside there was a small kibanda, a butcher. It was once a butcher, but it was closed down. So I called my colleague. He told me that he can get some money and at least put half or even at least a leg of meat and put it on the butcher. And I told him, I can't afford that, but what I can do, at least I can get a jiko. I sourced some money and then I put a jiko. So I decided, as he sells the meat, I sell the meat to Raz. But afterwards, the vibandas there, they decided now to do something else with it.
Then what happened?
Then after that, I decided to go into construction. Used to do mjengos. We were just the manual guys. We called them watu wa mikono, not fundis. So the first day I went there, the lorry came and just offloaded about 5 tons of sand. So they told me, for you young man to be in this work, you need you to take all this sand first floor using this spade. It was quite some task, but I finished it.
And all this is because you could not afford to go to college.
Yes.
But then you had a high school certificate. How long did you do that for?
So I did it for about 6 months. The building was already finished. So I decided to go to other construction site. Went to Thika, and finally I went to Ruiru. That's when I quit. I decided to quit this job.
Was enough?
Yeah. We were told to dig trenches. The trenches were so tough. You were given about 3 meters to dig trenches, and about 1 meter down. It was tough. I dug about 1.5 meters. I couldn't go further. It was just tough. I just left the mattock there, and the supervisor, the guy who was in charge, the foreman, paid me 150 for the portion that I dug. And then I said, enough is enough.
In the series of events that you have experienced throughout your life, your young life really, because it's really after high school, how much money do you think you made?
On a daily basis, we used to make on average about 500 shillings.
And that would also now help, of course, transport, feed you, and your mother.
Yes.
How were you able to balance all that?
We used to do it in priority. The most important was the rent. Pay the rent, the rest we just catered for itself, because sometimes food wasn't a must.
The reason I ask all these questions and the series of events that led to starting Delta, there must have been lessons that you learned that have helped you succeed in Deltatech.
Yes.
After so many years.
Yes.
And we want to talk about that after this break. You're watching Road to Success, the key to your next level in business. More on Henry's story after this break. Welcome back. You're watching Road to Success, the key to your next level in business. This week, our guest is Henry Waithaka of Deltatech. Henry, your story really is very inspiring that you never gave up. But at some point in your life, Deltatech was born.
Yes.
Yeah. What inspired Deltatech?
First, by having a supportive wife, because I was, at some point of life, I was just confused. I see now needs are becoming more, the income is less, but I still have to work. At least I bring home something. I see now I've gotten married to this supportive wife.
She married you when you were going through all that drama.
Through all that. So as a matter of fact, she's the one who encouraged me to quit the job that I had before I started Deltatech. I was in real estate, in property management. At that time, the real estate was shaky. The interest rate had skyrocketed. So making a sale was impossible. So we used to get the money from the commissions. So I told my colleague, a friend of mine called Daniel Biot, I told him, okay, my brother, let me just try and venture into something else, more in the technical field, because I saw this vision, I saw that now there's more need in the technical field. The real estate is growing. Because I was in the real estate, I see now buildings are coming up, but there is a shortage of technical expertise, you see.
Technical expertise in what sense?
The buildings have come up, but they need communication staff, they need electronic staff. So I decided to take opportunity of the growth in the real estate. Buildings are coming up in Nairobi and the surrounding areas in Athi River and everywhere. So I decided, now let me start up a technical company, so that at least any opportunity that comes in concerning the satellite system like DSTV, access control, I'll be able now to tap into the market and draw and gain some money through that. So I was being trained. For about 6 months, I was being trained by my brother-in-law, who decided to train me in that, because he was in the field for about 7 years. So that's when I registered the company. So I started it. My first job, I just went to a site, and I talked to someone, and then I thank God, because I was favored and he gave me a job.
What was your first?
My first job, I did it. It was just a house. There's someone who needed wiring to do the satellite system, the DSTV satellite system. And he gave me the job. That's when I made my first clean 30,000.
Were you working alone at this point? Had you hired people?
At that time, I was working alone. I tried to look for someone at least who can help me out. So at that time, I did the job in 3 days. It was quite tough. So afterwards, that's when I took my younger brother.
What services does Deltatech offer?
Okay, it offers satellite system servicing like DSTV. I've measured on DSTV because I'm accredited by DSTV to do installations on their behalf. So apart from that, the other things I do is the CCTVs, the access control. I'm here to learn about alarms. I'm still studying about alarms. But basically that's what I do. DSTV, the satellite system, general satellite system, but especially DSTV. And then the CCTVs and the access control. And then on the side, I do sell electronic stuff, the satellite dishes, the cables, and all the accessories concerned with electronics.
Henry, what lessons did you learn throughout your years in business? Because really, you started off as an entrepreneurship from a long time ago. That was your calling. What lessons did you learn through the series of events that you underwent that you brought now to Deltatech?
Okay, one of the major lessons I've learned in this field is about patience. And what I mean about patience, when you go to the field, you meet all manner of people. Sometimes you meet a client who's so hostile, who says he wants something done in such a manner. But technically looking at the scenario, this is impossible. But you have to convince the client, for this job to be done well, you have to do it this way. At the same time, satisfying the customer. The other one is persistence. We have to just be persistent in what you do. Sometimes you go to a place, you do some job, you lose money because these people say you need maybe a 50%, 60% down payment. They say, no, you just finish up the job,
then I will
and then
pay
we'll pay
you
you later.
Yeah.
You do so much, you spend so much, and once you spend so much, after doing all the job, someone comes up and corrupts the client's mind, saying, no, these people did this job. You spent 100,000 in the real sense. This job was supposed to be done by about 30,000. So you see, you end up losing money, but you have to be persistent. You just go on. Yeah. The other one is about honesty. You just have to be honest with the clients. For you, because my main marketing strategies is reference. If I do a good job for a certain client, I get up a call from another person referring me, because of the job that I did. So I have to be honest to them, and I have to do a clean job. I do this job knowing this, it's my job, it's my place, it's my house. What would I want in my setup, in this such a house if it was my house? So I've learned about honesty, patience, and persistence, and that has really helped me grow.
Were there any lessons that you learned from the past that you brought into your company?
Yes. The lessons that I learned about in the past, especially not giving up.
Yeah.
That was the greatest. Because there are times that we went through shake-up in Deltatech. Business was so down. Checks have been held. You don't have anything, even no amount in your account, because checks have been held here and there. But you still have to work. Many people want you to work. At some point I felt like giving up and said, how can I work without money? Sometimes even fueling up the car, it's an issue. So the major lesson that I learned from the past is about not giving up.
Your field is very competitive.
Yes.
What kind of marketing strategies have you put in place that are working for you?
Doing the good job and waiting for references to be done. The other one is just word of mouth. Just go doing the word of mouth to various places. At the same time, going to construction sites and upcoming buildings, giving out our brochures and going to contractors and doing that. The other thing we use is the social media. Yeah, we have the Facebook page, we are on Twitter, but mainly we use the Facebook.
Henry, how has working with DSTV helped you? Because you mentioned that you are accredited agent for them.
What I say about DSTV, Deltatech is what it is because of MultiChoice. MultiChoice has actually enriched the lives of so many people, especially the young men on the technical field. What the DSTV has done, or what MultiChoice has done, they don't have technicians under their direct employ. What they do, they get companies, they see the way it is, the way it conducts itself, and the qualities, and then they accredit them. So they target the young men who are vibrant.
And women, I hope.
And women. We have several women. but the women mainly are in the sales department. We have several. I know about two ladies who do technical. But what I love about Multi Choice is that they enrich the lives of young men. They give them opportunity. You see, like us, they take us to the training. Apart from the field training I got from being trained by my colleague, they also take us through thorough training.
How many people do you work with currently?
Right now, we are 7 of us. We are 2 ladies. One is in the operations. The other one, okay, he's in the marketing. We go with her to just drop the brochures. And the other ones are 3 field agents, yes, and myself.
What advice would you give young people?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially because a lot of young people say they're so challenged in life. And yet here you are with your story. You never did give up to be where you are today.
The advice I can give the young men and women out there is not to give up. Because once you give up, that's the end of you. And don't be choosy. This nation needs everyone, and there is so much opportunity. The thing, kusema hakuna kazi, it should be out of their minds. There is work everywhere. Do some work. As you continue working, opportunities continue opening up. So the other thing is that when you look at someone else, that's when your mind, you're going to get stretched up.
What would you say for you are the key to your success?
Knowing God is the key to my success. Because if I never knew Him, I would just stop aspiring to pursue big dreams. But after knowing Him, after getting the encouragement through reading the Word, through the rigorous Bible studies, it gave me strength to know who I am, regardless of my position, my status, my education background. I overlook that and I see that I'm special before the eyes of God. So when I saw that who I am, I decided to venture into big visions.
So what is your vision for Deltatech 5 years from now? Where do you see yourself?
Mainly I'm targeting all the counties in the nation. I see because of the devolution, now there's more opportunities. So my desire is to start at least a franchise in every county, to see there's a mark, the Deltatech company in every county.
Thank you so much, Henry, for your story. It has really inspired me, and I know it has inspired a lot of young people watching this show. Not even young people, everyone really watching this show, that you should never give up. You should never, ever give up and be persistent in pursuing our dreams, no matter what comes our way. Thank you for your story.
You're welcome.
Thank you for watching Road to Success, the key to your next level in business. Do have a blessed week.